such an unprofessional maneuver. So close to the podcast.
That's okay. I have this little thing called a mute button.
Oh, good for you.
Or you could just film yourself eating soup. Put it on YouTube.
Yeah, that's gonna be the entire podcast. Brian eating
Yep.
soup, and we're
Brian
live.
Hello.
Hello. Wow. Just okay. We were talking about soup, and then we were live. Cool.
And then we were
Actually,
live.
they
Yep.
heard that. They heard that entire conversation.
Thank you for the
excellent.
heads up, Ian.
Yes.
You're welcome.
Everyone likes to hear about soup eating. That's the thing that we're here
I'm
to
at
talk about,
soup.
right? I thought...
What do you mean you're at soup?
Oh my god. Why are you buying clothes at the soup store? Oh my god.
It's like my favorite thing ever.
Uh,
Chat wants to know what type of soup.
Oh, it's I don't know, man. There's like some meat in it.
oh my God, Brian.
And
Do
there's
you
like
even know
rice.
what kind of soup you're eating?
You're killing me here, dude.
I need to go back and get the can.
Oh my God. You can't tell by the taste or what's
There's
in it.
this thing.
Look,
called
man,
flavor
there's
that
like
maybe,
there's like some sausage and there's some vegetables and some rice and then the liquid is orange.
Oh my God.
That doesn't
like
sound like any
soup.
soup I've ever heard of.
Jesus
soup has
Christ.
rice in it.
What
You're
soup has
killing
sausage?
Are you sure it isn't like a curry or something?
And look, man, all I know is it's good and it makes me feel good.
Brian. Okay, well, why don't you put your spoon down for a moment and talk about Fire Force? We're covering episode 8, everybody. We're back to
We're
single
talking about
episodes.
Fire Force.
We're covering episode 7, my guy.
Yeah.
Talking
Yeah,
about
right.
Fire Force, I thought we were talking about Kill la Kill with flames.
Shut up.
I know.
Avatar: The Last
Fire Force
Airbender,
episode
but
7,
more
the
anime.
investigation of the first commences.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Going after Mr. Eye Patch,
Yep.
basically.
Mr. Eye Patch.
Yeah.
No,
Captain
that's
Burn.
Captain Eye Patch to you.
Oh, excuse me. Yes, Captain Eye Patch.
I only
Whose
call someone
name-
captain if I respect them.
His name is Captain Burns. Can we talk about?
Look, what did you expect? It's Fire Force. There are gonna be fire puns here.
After you know, like Captain Princess, I guess I shouldn't. I shouldn't have. Yeah.
You
Captain Burns,
should
that's his
question nothing. Your
Yep.
suspense of disbelief should be more than shattered by now.
Oh, it is. Believe me.
So in the opening sequence, it's revealed that the first knows that the 8th is coming. They recognize what the quote unquote joint training exercise between the 5th and the 8th was.
It's not hard.
Yeah. It's
They're
pretty-
not very
pretty-
subtle about it.
No, they broke through the wall, my dude. Like
It was all part of training. What do you mean? Don't you break through walls when you train? Like.
So, but to disguise this training exercise that they did, the 5th and the 8th are having a joint barbecue to celebrate their training exercise.
Yeah. Wait, I do want to mention. So they go through the very first scene is them walking through the big cathedral for the first, right? Because they got they're the ones associated with the church mainly, so they got a big cathedral, right? And we see all of the. I'm assuming these are going to be our villains in the next arc, right? All of the lieutenant priests. One who has stars for eyes because.
I
guess-
love Rekka. Okay.
I guess if Princess has flowers for eyes, he can have stars for eyes, right? That makes
Why
sense.
not? Why not?
And then there's the headphones guy that's annoying, but
Let me just say I love headphones guy. We'll talk about him a little bit later.
yeah. My last comment on this scene is that that Captain Burns is really cool because he does that really cool people thing where he wears his jacket without the sleeves. Like he doesn't put his arms in the sleeves, so they're just like flapping behind him, and that's how you know he's cool, right?
You
Yep.
don't like the other captain we've met.
It's so silly.
Just.
It's
Wear your
anime. Come
coats.
on.
It's anime coats. Get over it.
Yes. I I found it funny when I was watching. This is unrelated, but when I was watching the trailers and stuff for the new, totally not Dark Souls anime game coming out, Code Vein, where all of the characters also do that, and it's just like, why is everyone not wearing their jackets properly?
Why?
I get
Because
it now.
obviously they picked up a magazine post-apocalypse that said it was cool, when obviously
No,
they were talking
what
about anime
happened-
characters.
What happened was they all had the same character designer, and the character designer was like, "This is badass."
So he just gave that look to everybody.
Yeah.
This is how you determine an anime protagonist in Code Vein. Signed
Yeah.
and sealed.
Basically.
So, by the way, not Ida is really good at cooking.
Yeah, he's very fast at cooking. I don't know how good it looks like.
Well, he's better than the mascots who set their shit on fire.
I mean, they are wearing mascots. It's kind of hard to
I'm
see
not
those
even
things,
sure if the mascots are even fire soldiers. I think they were just invited to make sure that the event was official.
Yeah. I mean, they're just probably regular people, right? It's just their day job.
Yeah. I mean, that's fair. Also, as we expected, Princess is just dotting over Shinra.
Of course.
It was so nice to have so much of Colleen in this episode again.
You know, I really do need to go see the English dub just so I can understand the glory that you speak of. I still
Colleen,
haven't yet.
I haven't seen the English dub for it yet either, but I can attest Colleen Klinkenbeard is amazing.
Yep.
She's real good.
She voices Jin in Ruby, so
She does, and she's also the ADR director for My Hero Academia.
Oh dang!
Mhm.
Ah.
Yep.
She's a heavy hitter for Funimation, man.
Yeah.
She's also like Urza Scarlet in Fairy Tale. So like
there is a best girl, Kurt. There is indeed a best girl. Her name is Cat Girl.
yes.
Oh my
No,
God.
no,
Still
stop.
not a character.
Sit
2
down,
episodes
Brian.
in.
No. Iris is best girl. You cannot stop me.
Ooh, and you know what? I forgot about Iris. That's a good point.
Them
That's a good
fighting
point.
words.
I
I
brought
don't
you
know.
back. Bo, I think you're
Sorcerer's
outnumbered
Skull
here.
makes living fireballs.
What? You said my name. What? Are we gonna fight? Have you issued an official fight statement?
Yeah, Bo, fight me.
No, I
Okay.
also love, I can't remember who was cooking. I think it was not Ida. And he's just like surrounded by all these girls. And it's like labeled like the Fifth Angels 3 and then not the Fifth Angels 3.
And then
Oh, right.
Iris
No,
shows up
it's
in the background,
Maki,
I think.
Yeah.
Is it
Yeah,
Maki?
it's just like pointing them out. Yeah, it's Maki who's cooking up.
It's so weird.
Oh,
how
it's Maki, that's right.
It's so weird watching the Fifth Angels transitioning from mooks to actual people on screen. Because in the
And then
Fifth Angels
Mr.
3, they were just a hot mess. Now they actually
Yeah,
look
pretty
like
much.
decent people who just have lives to do. We're just caught unawares by a surprise attack.
they're not striking really weird poses and saying all their lines out of sync, you know?
So later on, Princess and Captain Obi have a little talk, and Princess is like, "I'm the one cooperating with the 8th, not the 5th, because the 5th is tied too closely to Hajime Industries."
And she says, "You guys are too small to take them on right now," which is
Yeah.
probably true. There's like, how many people on the 8th?
They need more people. It's a very small
I mean,
company.
They are a small company, but they also can't afford to be too large. Because if they get too large, then they're gonna have to
Right.
start keeping like informational security in check about who can know what and why. Because
Well, the
otherwise,
more
it's
people
going
you
to
have,
leak.
the more likely one of them's going to be,
A
a
mole.
spy. Yeah.
Yep.
Keep your cards close.
Then we have a little rehash moment where Obi's like, "So how come you changed your mind?" And then Princess is like, "Well, let me tell you a story," and then tells the exact same story we were told last episode.
I
Tell
have
what
a
you told.
totally believable hero or villain to hero arc.
Yeah.
It happened in like 5 seconds
Look-
when somebody punched me really hard. In the face.
Yeah, she basically says that too. She like, what does she calls? She says something along the lines of like, you know, like he clobbered me with justice or something like that.
When I got clobbered, what did something like that.
Like it's.
Oh yes, she says, I remembered the warmth of the flames, the tenderness of justice.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, I love anime.
Oh, and it gets this show only gets better as we'll get to when we see the first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I love too that like Obi's like, you know, like Shinra is like a self-proclaimed hero. So if like Shinra was the one who like changed your mind, does that mean he's your hero? And she's like, what? No.
Definitely not.
Definitely not.
She also drops a I mean, we already pretty much figured this out, but she confirms her research has pointed the fifth to hey, somebody's doing this intentionally. Not all of the spontaneous combustions apparently are intentional, but some of them definitely are.
Yep, someone is creating infernals.
Who turns into an infernal?
Which was not.
And I also love the fact that like they're now kind of in it together, where they're like, okay, we both don't like the fact that people are creating infernals, so we're gonna put a stop to this. And for Obi, I think it's just like a sense of justice where he's like, well, this shit needs to stop. But for Princess, I think it's more of a like, I need to avenge all of my sisters.
Oh, there's some vengeance in there for sure. She has this part where she's like swearing an oath by some random flower that she's gonna like, and we see a hint of that evil side of her again, where she's like, I'm gonna burn them all by any means necessary.
Yeah, and like, it really like it kind of got to me too that like, she said something along the lines of like, you know, if someone was responsible for what happened to like my sisters, I was just sitting there going, bitch, they all went up in flames at the exact same time. Yeah, somebody was responsible for that.
That ain't no coincidence.
Like,
I mean, it was the biggest leap in logic in the world, but now the fifth has at least the evidence to prove it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well,
now that we don't know what that evidence is, we just know that they have it.
Yeah, we haven't seen the evidence yet, but it begs the question: why then were she and Iris not turned into infernals? Was it because they weren't in the room at the time? Like, how does this person or thing or whatever choose, who becomes infernal or not? Is it proximity based? Do they like pick individual people? Do they write a name in a book? Like, how does this work?
Yeah, there's some very real questions there, and hopefully they will be answered as the show goes on. But yeah, so they're now in this together, but the trail leads to the Shinjuku district, which is the first's jurisdiction.
There's also apparently a big financial. That's where the government buildings are.
Yep. A lot of big important people over there. And then, of course, following this, we have our obligatory fan service scene. Yay!
God. It's getting so regular, you can almost like time your watch by them.
There it is. We acknowledge it, and we're moving on.
Yep, because that's what the show basically did.
Yep, I thought it was really interesting. That's like, okay, we're gonna dedicate like a
2
good
minutes.
30, like we're gonna dedicate a good like 30-45 seconds to this fan service scene, and then the thing that scene was actually there for was like 2 lines.
Pretty much.
Like, where because like Iris is like, you're about to do something dangerous, huh? Like, aren't you, Princess? And Princess is like, yup, we're going undercover with the first. And that was the whole point of the scene.
And they could have done that totally not in the shower.
Yep.
But of course they didn't. Because
I'm just saying that my wife was there, so that's all I care about.
I mean, fair, because that's all people care about anyway.
Forrest, I feel like this may be one of your first experiences with like real serious like anime fan service. This show.
This is definitely the most anime I've seen thus far. For better or worse.
Yeah. This stuff is kind of par for the course. But yeah, so in any case, in order to go undercover with the first, they're using the rookie training reassignment system, which allows crew members in their first year of service to be temporarily assigned other companies to broaden their experience.
Gee,
so
that's convenient.
Yeah, it sure is, huh?
Yeah, and I like how Obi's like reading it out of a book, like it's some archaic, like, you know, subsection of some rule that no one has ever used. Like, like they had to dig for this particular thing.
Yep.
They had to deep into some esoteric text the government provided so they could use the super secret weapon that totally would not look suspicious when they actually deployed it.
So, yeah, no, definitely. We're not sending our most powerful like firebenders into your stronghold. No. Why would we?
Well, it's too bad that one of them is an idiot.
It is too bad about that.
So, in any case, this is how Shinra and Arthur are going to and Princess is also going to send people from her company as camouflage, and she's also going to hit up some people from other companies as well.
Gee, I wonder who we're going to see. Totally not people we saw in the rookie games a couple episodes ago.
Nope,
not especially that giant, you know, 3 kids in a trench coat person.
Yeah, totally not the 3 goblins in a trench coat meme.
Now the first is a religious company, so their building is a big church.
Yeah, if you couldn't tell that, they have the biggest church.
Yep. It's very big.
It's real big. They also have a really big obelisk in front that's apparently famous.
Look at those flying buttresses.
They are very... Actually, I didn't see any flying buttresses.
I didn't, but I would expect a big church to have more flying buttresses. Shame on you, Fire Force. Where are my flying buttresses?
The 8th Company Church does have flying buttresses, and this one does not. So clearly the better church.
As they enter the building, they meet with Headphones Dude.
Yes.
The obligatory headphones guy.
What is his
love this
name?
dude so much.
I hate him.
I need to sit down with Annika and like have her break down the Japanese that he's using there.
He just uses the same word over and over.
Yeah, he does.
I mean, it's not like he's wrong. It's just the way he says it feels like you should be insulted, and it feels so stupid.
Which is kind of weird, right? Which is kind of why I want to know the Japanese behind it, because like he's apparently he's not actually like what he's saying is it sounds insulting, but it's not actually insulting. Yet the way they translated it, he continuously says like at the very end, like, you know, oh, you ass, or like or something like that, which is like very clearly an insult. So I kind of want to know the mechanics of like how the Japanese works to make it not an actual insult.
Well, I just looking at that scene, like the way, because there's the first time he says something where he repeats himself a lot, which is every line he does. It actually writes out some of the Japanese, I think, and it's formatted in such a way that it just has a column of the same characters, which are the repeated words, and then it just tacks things on to the right or left that complete the sentence. So it's like really highlighting, oh yeah, he's just using the same word over and over.
and for whatever
that's
reason,
really good like visual storytelling there, I think.
And for whatever reason, someone still hasn't punched him by accident. Like, that sounds like something that's going to get you punched, whether you meant it to be insulting or not. Someone's going to take it the wrong way.
Well, he's definitely insulting them. It's just, I think Shinra notices that he called them poop, right? And he's just like, but wait, you just said poop is poop.
Well, no, that's not what he said. He said that...
True.
Like, yes, he said poop is poop, and then like when he's like calling them an ass, he's like, oh, no, you're not calling us an ass, you're calling our ass an ass.
which is accurate.
like-
That's, I mean, okay, that's a weird way of saying that, but
Yeah.
you're right.
You're technically right and technically
Yeah,
somewhat insulting
like-
me at the same time. I don't know whether to be confused or insulted, or just, frankly, both. How about that?
That was basically Arthur's reaction.
Yeah.
Well,
like-
You know, Shinra actually thought to try and figure out what he was saying. Arthur was just like, pop, pop, pop. What are you talking about?
yeah.
His brain just can't handle that level of.
Yeah.
Arthur's brain can't handle a number of things, including remembering which one is his dominant hand.
Apparently.
How is he not like in
Oh
a
my
special
god, that was
home?
so dumb.
How is he not like in a special home for people like him?
I mean, what makes you think he isn't?
Just like,
So-
how do you function?
There, I think my favorite bit from this dude comes at the very end of the episode. Where the hell is the line? Let's see. But whether your pace keeps you a pace of this pace, or whether your pace does not keep you a pace of this pace, is all up to you. Hang in there.
I wanted to die during that sentence. Just, can I see like a period somewhere?
Nope.
That's all one sentence. Thanks, Japan.
It's all one sentence that was way longer than it really needed to be.
Yup. So, in any case, they meet with Captain Burns in the main cathedral, and then Shinra decides to challenge him to a duel.
Classic.
And if he yep, classic shonen.
Classic Shinra. Yeah.
If he wins, he gets to ask Burns one question. And then we cut, and then so Captain Burns agrees. And then we cut back to,
does.
and then we cut back to Captain Obi, who's super worried. And okay, I'm pretty sure this is a trend now, right? That not Ida just wears a bunch of weird hats.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's
that's
different
his thing.
every time.
Yes.
He just wears silly hats because
Such
he's such a
is-
serious character. If he didn't do that, then he would just like burn straight through the floor and into the center of the earth.
But yeah, so oh, by the way, our favorite character, Catgirl, is back.
Hell yeah, she is.
And
In
still
a
not a
maid
character.
costume. In a
And she's
maid
angry
costume.
that Shinra is getting to spar with the captain before she was able to.
She's in a frickin' maid outfit. Why?
Of course she is.
Why?
Because
she's
why
not a
the
character.
important question is not why is she in one, it's why are you not in one.
Because I don't look good in a dress, thanks.
Hey, you don't know until you try, okay?
I was gonna say, have you tried?
Don't knock
Uh,
it till you try it, man.
I'll pass. Thanks.
Oh my god.
So, I love this dude, Rekka. He's so high energy. Like, in the middle of them challenging Captain Burns, like, he's like, we know what your abilities are. We don't need you to spar. And then, like, Captain Burns is like, nah, let's do this. Like, Rekka, you go first. And then he's just like, really? Hell yeah! In this guy? Like, just, oh my god. And he has, like, the stars for eyes. I love him.
Mr. Star, yeah, why are his eyes star? Like, I get, like, Princess has flowers for eyes. She's all about, is he all about stars? Is that his?
He's all about energy. So they go and they go to the sparring grounds,
They go to
which
the basketball
looks
court.
surprisingly like a tennis court.
Oh, is it a tennis?
I'd imagine that it probably serves that purpose on the weekends.
Yeah. When they're not throwing fireballs at each other,
And so we get to see frickin' trenchcoat dude. And he's afraid of fire.
Of course.
In a horrible line of work then.
Like,
Literally
I feel
fighting
like they just
with
pulled
fire.
a Neptune with this guy. Like,
Yeah, he's very much. If Neptune was a bunch of hedgehogs in a trench coat, it would be-
And yeah, and it's crazy too because he hates fire, but his power is literal fire mortar shells.
Yep.
Just like he's got an insanely powerful power.
But he hates it.
Yep.
He's afraid to use it.
And then they put out his mortars with an ice tuba.
Oh yeah, then there's an ice
Yep.
tuba.
Yep.
That's this show has an ice tuba now.
Yep. I mean, why wouldn't it?
I did
Of
not
course.
think we were going to see ice in a fire-related show, but color me impressed.
Yep. But and not only that, it doesn't convert fire into ice. He says specifically it converts fire into music and then music into ice.
Well,
which
it converts fire into sound and then sound into ice.
He specifically says music.
Did he say music?
Score.
That sure as hell wasn't music.
There's a score that flies across the screen, I'm pretty sure.
Oh my god.
Like, I did not think we'd be seeing the more obscure ways to use fire here, but guessing that this guy has made a show dedicated about the use of fire, I should have thought better.
Yep. I mean, I didn't know that you could have a rocket-powered tuba that
Yeah.
shoots ice, but I mean,
Yeah, same.
Apparently that's how physics works now.
Welcome to Pyromancy 101, learn how to create ice.
Then again, they are living in a world where the continents are literally like squishing together. So heck, what do I know? Maybe.
Yup. So, after this fight, Cat Girl kicks Shinra because of course she does, and then she tries to hug Rekka, but he just like catches her and sets her down. Just
Nope,
like
small
denied.
And yeah, then he says something about her like always getting into provocative situations or like.
I don't remember him saying anything about getting into provocative situations.
No, because
I think he said getting into trouble.
She has
It's
like
not
a
that,
lewd
it's the
power or something.
she has. I don't know exactly what they're referring to, but after the next fight with Captain Birds, he refers to her lucky lechery.
That's what it was. Yeah, that. What is? Do I even want to know what that is?
I don't know.
She's
Do
a
I
thought.
want that explained?
I guess.
She's
kind
got the power of thought.
I mean, she
So
breathes,
she
doesn't she?
She does.
Like,
Does that mean she's also a queen? Does she outrank Princess Hibana then? Like,
no.
So-
all women are queens.
Yeah, but that also means Princess Hibana is a queen and therefore better than this girl by a far
Nah,
cry.
Princess Hibana is definitely more a thought than a queen.
I thought she was a princess. Wait, I'm confused.
So the
Important
captain
discussion.
decides that he's going to take both Shinra and Arthur on at the same time.
Not hard. It's basically basic 1.5 people against one.
Yeah.
It's basically like just facing Shinra.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably.
Because Arthur's Excalibur, which can cut through steel, couldn't even cut through the captain's arm, and then the captain manages to extinguish it. So
yeah, apparently
it's something no one's ever been able to do.
Is harder than steel. Is basically what they said.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which I mean, yeah, that's sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
My thought is, Arthur, are you going to do anything you like? Tell me when you're going to gain an IQ, please, please. I like my characters to be intelligent, but why are you doing this to me?
And then Shinra throws out some of his most powerful attacks, but they do nothing. And then the captain
does rip his shirt slightly.
Yeah. But then the captain just steps forward. Like, he takes one step forward, and Shinra goes flying.
Yeah.
It's the literal embodiment of putting his foot down.
Basically. Also, his eye patch catches fire.
Yep, that's pretty cool.
Like, if he already didn't win infinite coolness points by not wearing his jacket the right way, he gets infinite +1 coolness points for for his
Also,
flaming eye patch.
They missed a few points by not putting in a couple of Dark Souls music tunes in there at the moment when his eye patch catches fire and he stomps, but still full marks, but no extra
Still,
credit.
yeah, no extra credit.
So after the fight, Catgirl runs to the captain, but she trips again. But Rekka catches her again. And then apparently the headphone dude is going to take charge of all the people from the 8th. So that would be Shinra and Arthur.
Because of course he is. It's got to be the guy.
And that is where we leave this episode.
Yeah, basically, they're in deep.
Yup.
Undercover, although they're not really undercover. Like, if you don't think that Captain Burns knows exactly what they're doing, then
oh yeah,
like
100%.
No illusion.
So, how do y'all think this is gonna proceed?
I just want more Princess Hibana. I'm gonna be real.
Understandable. So would I, in comparison to some of the other members of this cast. But
yeah.
What, you don't like Arthur?
No.
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 What about
gave it away?
Bubblegum dude?
I'll live with him. He seems intelligent. Maybe an arrogant one, but I could live with that. But my main point is, I think Tamaki is probably going to accidentally stumble on the two of them looking through some files or papers or whatever. And they're going to have to convince her to join the cause, and she might find out something that she might not like. Because that's how she's going to start to be a character, if at all, please.
Well, I mean, like I said, from the opening sequence, it looks like she joins forces with the 8th.
Yeah.
So, so I just looked this up. So Fire Force is gonna have 24 episodes.
Woo!
And I'm kind of wondering how that's going to affect moving forward into RWBY in November, right?
I think what we might need to do, like we will obviously discuss this more in depth later, but when RWBY starts, we might just hold off on discussing Fire Force until the finale and cover our thoughts on the series in a recap, but we can talk about that more once we are off the air.
Yeah.
It's a Sunday night, people.
Because obviously we are definitely, I mean, the whole basis of this podcast was based around talking about RWBY, and then we just started talking about other shit. So obviously we're going to be following RWBY when RWBY comes out.
Yeah.
Obviously. When are they starting again? November? Yes?
November 2nd.
November 2nd. Save the date, ladies
Write
and
it down.
gentlemen.
Remind me to ask you guys something about the day the episode comes out.
Okay.
After we're off the
Okay.
air.
Okay.
Sounds good. Yeah, anybody else got thoughts? We think you're gonna go? Not Tamaki. Not that kind of thought.
Ah, damn it. I was literally waiting until you stopped talking to say it.
We know you too well.
Brian and I have established that he and I are essentially the same person. Like, it's kind of uncanny. I honestly, I hadn't even really given it much thought into the whole them snooping around and getting caught, but I really like that theory that Tamaki's gonna kind of catch them doing something they're not supposed to be doing, and kind of maybe have that moment of you better explain to me right now what you're doing, or someone's gonna get an ass kicking. And they tell her what's going on, and maybe she doesn't believe them at first, but then she sees it for herself. But there's that seed of doubt almost that's there after it happens, and she realizes over the course of an episode or two that maybe they're not crazy.
Yeah, well, she definitely seems to be. If she has one character trait at this point, it's that she has a lot of respect for the captain. Right? whatever it is that
And
maybe
Rekka.
he pulled her from a burning building or something as a baby or something. But whatever it is that he's clearly like meant to affect character to her. In the same
My
way
new
that
headcanon is that he rescued her from a tree.
Okay,
Like she was in an explosion and the explosion sent her flying and she landed in a tree, and it wasn't the explosion that traumatized her, it was the fact that she was afraid of heights in the tree.
in the tree, and then she saw a cat in the tree, and then that's where.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Or the captain was just like, man, normally we're saving cats out of trees, but in this case, and then she's just like, oh, I'm gonna have a cat be my persona.
I will be a cat forevermore.
My fire powers will manifest as a cat and a cat only.
Yes,
Yep.
that's exactly how that worked. But
Ears,
yeah, I think
tail, and everything.
at
Yup.
some point I think you're right. The scales fall in her eyes, and she'll figure out that maybe Captain Burns is more aptly named than it seems.
Yep.
And she'll join the 8th. But I don't. It's interesting too that they're like, this is not that far into the show. I mean, this is only episode 7, right? And they're already starting their attack on, the first company, right? Which seems to be it's the most powerful company we've seen thus far. Granted, we haven't seen, anything other than
It seems like
first at this point, but
for the majority of this, we're going to be building up to dealing with most of the companies. We're 2 out of 7 we need to cover, so maybe by the end of this we will almost have covered it, and then we'll move on to the next step, unless one of these companies takes a really big step up in being an actual villain. Because it just seems we're taking care of our mooks at the moment, even though the first is advertised as very strong.
Yeah, no, I mean, at least one of their members is an actual threat. The rest of them, I'm not so sure about. They did mention, was it the second company that was like in deep with the military?
Yeah, so
something?
they could be
Yeah,
a
so
lot
that-
more
They
dangerous.
might be a pretty dangerous company.
I imagine their hideout, their fire. Well, they probably have like an actual like firehouse. It's probably got like automatic turrets, have security cameras, and
it's probably like a fortress. Yeah.
and fire suppressing, turrets of some kind. Something dangerous.
Yeah. Something. Yes. Dangerous.
You
Lots
think
of
the
barbed wire.
people of Tokyo would be like, why do the people who are supposed to be keeping us safe need to be held up in fortresses?
Why do they need a giant doom fortress?
Yeah, like there's something going on.
No, don't
maybe
question.
something's not right.
It's part of our community policing program. It's fine. They're cameras.
Yeah.
See? With guns attached. It's fine.
They're just cameras that track your like DNA or something. And they have guns, so what could be wrong?
Hashtag Fire Force is the same universe as Psychopaths.
Basically,
yeah.
This is how Psychopaths began.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So
Yeah, I don't know where this is gonna go, because if they take down Burns, like he's like head villain character at this point. We haven't really seen much of the.
well, no,
government
head
of this
villain
world.
character is the Joker.
That's true. Yeah, like when's he gonna? Maybe in the course of like they're taking on these other companies, he's gonna show up and throw a big wrench in the works of everything. I don't know.
So yeah, anybody else got any predictions?
No.
No? All right, well, we got just a little bit of time left, so I'm looking at chat. Yes, I am keeping up with Demon Slayer.
Oh my god, Demon Slayer is.
Oh, yes.
It's
Oh,
so,
I'm
yeah.
not.
So good.
it's so good. Have you been keeping up with it, Forrest?
That second to last episode.
Holy shit,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Cow. First of all, the animation was just that part where we see, spoilers, his dad doing like a little fire dance.
You know,
Which is
saying
good.
spoilers the second before you say the spoiler doesn't really leave much time for bracing, my dude.
It's not that
Bo,
big a spoiler.
Bo,
It's
are
not
you
a big
caught up?
spoiler.
Tell me
I
you're caught
haven't
up.
watched a single.
Yeah.
Nope,
No,
you gotta stop
that
talking
sequence-
right now. Stop talking.
No, I don't
Nope.
care. I don't care.
No, you're
Spoilers,
gonna
I don't
care.
mind.
You're gonna care.
It's good. all I'm gonna say is that little bit, that little dance that he does, is some of the best animation I have ever seen. End stop punctuation.
Yeah, well, that was
Like-
definitely rotoscoped. So they had that was so what they did for that, because when you see 2D animation that looks that fluid and is that detailed, like that's basically what they've done is they've videotaped someone actually doing the dance and then drawn the character over it.
That's how all like old Disney movies. Actually, Brian and I were just talking about that
Yeah.
like a week ago. That's how
Mhm.
all the old Disney movies were animated.
Doesn't surprise me.
But they had like motion blur on that and everything. It's just like,
Yeah, no, they
God
definitely wanted that to be very pretty.
It's UFO table. Of course it looks gorgeous.
Oh God, I love. Oh man, that's a selling point for me if it's
You gotta watch Demon Slayer, Bo.
Fuck, they're the
it's a
ones
little
they're the ones
slow.
that do Fate.
Yes,
Yeah.
they.
It's a little slow in the beginning, but it picks up.
Oh my
It
god,
has
I'm
awesome
gonna force Annika to watch it, like, because Annika had the same issues with the first episode that like all of us had, and she's used that as an excuse to not watch it. Like next time she's over, I'm just gonna like sit her down and be like, we're doing this.
It's yeah, no.
It's so
Also,
good.
at a certain point, about midway through the current list of episodes, the
Mhm.
two side characters become really, really obnoxious. But they kind of get over that a little bit.
They
Mostly
get
because
better.
They haven't been in the same room together since then. But it's,
And now I will say in some of the latest episodes, I've really liked Inosuke.
yeah, he's kind of growing on me, but
I'm
just
like
him
sitting
and
here
Zenitsu
just like
are
twiddling
like,
my thumbs.
oh my god.
Look, well,
They're
okay,
so
let's get off the
obnoxious.
air so we can get Bo started. Cause Bo, since we didn't go for like an hour and a half, maybe you could go and get started. Cause it's actually
Yeah.
pretty good.
Also, people in the chat, if this, like, if you haven't seen it, go see
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Go watch it. It's like
Go watch it.
to be honest with you,
Go binge
like,
it right now.
this is like it's a. To be honest with you, I think that Demon Slayer is yet another like refining of the shonen genre. I
Mhm.
have not seen a shonen this good since My Hero Academia. And
it has a lot darker tone than
it's got a much darker
a
tone to
lot
My
darker.
Hero, but like, yeah, it's been a few years since I've seen a shonen anime this good that wasn't My Hero.
UFO table, Studio Wit, I think Studio David and Bones are like the leaders in animation, with UFO table taking the cake.
Excuse you? Fucking Kyoto Animation, anybody?
Yeah, Kyoto Animation too. Like nothing
I
against
have a
Kyoto
very
Ani.
difficult. I have a very difficult time picking between KyoAni and Ufotable, like to be completely honest, because like two of my favorite series have been animated by each other respectively. So it's just like
Yeah, but
I don't have like a top 5. I have like a 5 that are all tops. Like I can't pick between them of which ones I like more. So
Also, if you need further reason to watch this show, it has Michael Jackson in it.
yeah, it does.
It has Japanese Michael Jackson in it. I'm
Yeah,
not
it
kidding.
has demon Japanese Michael Jackson.
Yep.
And that's not a spoiler. It's literally in the art on my
Yeah,
on the page. It's-
and by the way, Bo, you will find a new waifu like episode 2 or 3 for Demon Slayer.
Listen, I will
Guaranteed.
speak for myself about my waifus.
Hey, no. Waifu, look, Nezuko's great and all, but like, waifu is definitely one of the newer characters that just showed up. That's played by Sari Hayase, one of my favorite seiyus.
Wait, the older one or the
The older one, yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay, let's get off
Alright,
the
maybe.
air now. We are
All
we
right.
have stumbled so far into the weeds. I can't see the shore anymore. We're done here.
Thank you
Say
guys so
goodbye.
much
Thank
for
you.
watching.
Good night.
Bye.